Welcome to another edition of Hits and Hoops. I'm joined this Monday night with my main man Dixon. My name is Tyler. Thank you for all the listeners that have been listening and tuning in and sharing. I appreciate that. The feedback's been really cool. How you doing, my man?
I'm chilling, bro. Monday vibes. Tired as shit. But we here.
Yeah, Monday night. Right now the two Monday night games are on. How do you feel about that two games on Monday night?
But are
Too
they
much.
playing like simultaneously or is back to
Yeah,
back?
like half hour difference.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like I liked it back in the day when they used to do it for like week 1 where it was like a West Coast game after the East Coast night game. I remember they used to do that and I like that better. But 2 games on at once is kind of like you have to pick and choose. And Monday night was all about like you got the stage to yourself.
Yeah.
So kind of takes away from like the big moment.
Yeah. I wonder what that is, if that's like a money grab or if that's just like they have to do the scheduling like that.
I feel like that's just some consumerism type shit. Like, oh, if we could add more game, like another game, more viewers, like let's just do it. If we could add 3 games, 4 games, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, anyways, like I said before, it's Monday night. Um we got we had a great weekend, especially for us, for football. And yeah, I kind of just want to jump right into it, honestly. First
Let's do
game.
it.
First game, Dolphins Broncos. 70-20.
10 touchdowns.
10 touchdowns. They
Did they ever punt the ball?
they punted one time, but in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna let you go because I have a bunch of things I want to run through.
Hold on. We punted it once. Was there any field goals?
No. No.
That's the part that's like insanity. Like a high scoring game like that, no field goals, nothing but fucking touchdowns. Like
You want to know?
that shit was video game, but like you're playing your 6-year-old brother on Madden type video game. Like not even the computer. Like you're playing your 6-year-old brother, you're playing your girlfriend on Madden. That's how the score went. That's how we ran it up.
That was the best game I've ever seen offensively in my life. There was the efficiency of scoring
Hmm.
is something that I've never seen before. They had nine third downs in total. 9, and they scored 70 touchdowns. And to be honest, they could have they could have scored probably 77 to
That's
84
insane.
for real. And for this to be the best offensive performance or second best yards and points wise of all time.
All time. We talking about 70
All
points hasn't
time.
been scored since our parents were born.
But think about that as a Dolphin fan, the last 25 to 30 years. That's our team now.
It's incredible. It's almost like I
Incredible.
don't believe it. Like
I
one
don't,
thing
yeah.
is like, okay, yeah, we have a good offense now, but another thing is having this, like this video game historic godly type offense. Like, dude, not even Tom Brady and Randy Moss did this. Not even Peyton Manning and Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace. Julius Thomas, none of them did this.
I think this game solidified Tua as he's the real deal. There's been too many of
It
these
was one
kind
of
of
those.
games. Too many of these kind of games. Like, all right, well, let's see. Even myself, but there's too many of these kind of games where him prove himself, and everybody's looking at it just dumbfounded. And this game
Don't even know what
solidified.
to say.
Any jokester that still doubts him, watch it. Just watch the game.
The only solid critique that I hear nowadays on Tua is the health, and that's a good thing. That means like when he's on that field, when he's performing, he's excellent. That's almost like no, I wasn't even gonna make the comparison, but man, remember
Hey,
the whole tank for Tua,
yeah, yeah.
2018 to 2020.
Now let's see how
I
this
was leading
pans
that
out.
bandwagon. This is the full manifestation.
Yeah, yeah. Tank for Tua, but
Wow.
McDaniel's the one running it, and not only that, Tua's a guy. He's a real guy. The MVP stuff, like I don't, that's too far for me. But as of
He's the
right
leading
now,
candidate right now, though. Has to
I know.
be.
But as of right now, I'm saying for the whole year because it's a long year, and I mean, at last week we're talking about is Mika Parsons the best player in football? Like, okay, like after this week, that shit's dead. You know what I mean? That shit's dead.
Yeah.
But the two is the I've never felt this way about my quarterback. Confident in he's for real the guy. For real, for real. He's played as the guy. For real.
And he's playing with that swagger, bro.
The
Like when
confidence,
he joined the touchdown celebration, oh man, I was even dancing on that line. Whatever them boys, when Wilkins joined it and everything, like, dude, he just playing with that swagger, like,
the the
they just having fun with it too.
the confidence is at a is and it's he's
First
oozing
of all,
confidence for real.
that no look shovel pass was one of the freshest plays I have ever seen.
Do you think that was the point of the play, or do you think he added that? I think he
No,
added
he
that.
said that he did it in practice, and then the coaches were like, "Yo, you got to do that in the game."
That's dope. That's super dope.
Like, that was one of the freshest plays I've ever seen. Like, just, oh man, it was disgusting.
And jumping to Mostert, he's proven he's a dog in this league as a running back. This year, maybe not last year, but this year, he's one of them in the league for sure. I think they figured out the run game. I think they gelled that offensive line more and more. 1 sack in 3 games. I can never remember that in my life as a Dolphin fan. I
Never.
mean,
He getting
never.
that ball off quick too. So it's
Quick.
like a lot of design, a lot of play call, but they're just playing as a unit right now, as a team.
Yep, as one for real. Mostert's a real guy, and unlocking A Chain. Holy crap!
So what happened? Like, where did he come from? Was he injured the first 2 games? Like, what the hell? Where
He
did this guy
he would.
come from?
So we drafted him from Texas A&M. He has 4.3 2, just 4.23. Some incredible, right?
Right.
He's the track. I mean, all those guys have ran track. He's like a all-state track athlete, right? He got hurt in preseason, out for a little bit. I think the first game he might have got a touch, but he was still kind of coming back from that injury. Second game, he got definitely more touches. And then because of Ahmed, he went out. He got hurt in practice, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no,
Right.
he got hurt last week. Didn't come back this whole week, and they pretty much said you're going to get his touches, and he's got
Hey,
220
yo, I
yards
don't
out of
think
those
he's gonna
touches.
look. I don't think they're gonna look back.
There's no way. Jeff Wilson, he's on IR. He's
The
he's a fourth back.
man scored 50 points on fantasy, bro.
Damn, for real. No, and just to see how fast he hits the holes. And there was one play where I think it was the double reverse or a fake handoff. Then Tua flipped it up, and there was 2 guys behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, going to eat him alive. He kept going to the corner, to the edge of the field, and blew past all of them. And that's when I thought they found another one,
Yo, they're
another
legit
guy.
saying we got the 4 fastest players in the NFL. Like, legit, like, not even like the 4 fastest players in the NFL are on all the same team.
Yeah.
Stat wise, perception wise, skill wise, however you want to look at it, those are the 4 fastest men. We'll take any team on a 4x100 relay.
Yo, it just seems like they get their guy with blocking and out in open space, like 7 different guys, and they try to figure it out. And all of those guys this weekend made a play. And with the running backs, they made 8 big plays, which
And
is
that was
incredible.
all without Waddle.
All without Waddle. Could you imagine?
Dummy,
And to
bro.
see him jumping on the sideline, like getting turned up for his
Dummy.
team, you know what I mean?
But yo, I wouldn't be remiss. Like, if I didn't talk about the other side of the ball.
Before
Denver.
you do that, Tyreek is the best receiver in the league. Best receiver in the league. He's number one.
This year so far, yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
this year
that boy Jefferson's still right there. But
he's
this year
putting up
so far,
numbers. Yeah,
yes.
but he's not impacting the game like Tyreek is.
But it's
Tyreek
them
impacts it way
two and then
different.
the field. I don't want to hear Jamar Chase. I don't want to hear anyone else. It's them two and then the rest of the field.
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say about the defense?
You know, I was like in the passenger seat of the Ford Bronco saying, let's ride, you know. Had Russell Wilson, you know, driving, had Sean Payton in the back, and then my young boy Sutton in the back as well. But seems like that car broke down. Seems like we're all on the side of the road. Seems like that ride didn't reach its destination. So it's just really sad to see. The worst part about it is, like, to me, he and the offense looks better than last year. Stats wise, looks wise, it's better than last year, but the defense is ass now. And last year, that defense was top 10. So the defense is really the one that's losing them games. So it's like a mess because last year was the offense, and now this year's the defense. But man, this is gonna be rough to look over. First of all, you go 0-3, and your third loss was a 70 piece. You guys completely gave up.
That's crazy to say, right? 70 piece.
A 70 piece, bro. I've never even said those words. I've never even said the word 70 associated with any football scoreboard ever, bro. I mean, unless we're talking about college when they make them play them bum ass Division III schools, but I don't know, NFL game, dog.
Hey, what's the highest score you've seen in a game that you've watched?
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Let me answer your question first. I would say definitely 50s, but I might have seen a 60 piece. I just can't remember which particular one, but definitely you know, games like in the 50s and stuff. Like, I didn't see the Patriots when they had Randy Moss beat the fucking brakes off the AFC East, like 52-12, stupid shit like that. So
yeah,
I've seen a couple 50 pieces for sure.
I think the game I remember, I was super young, and it was like the Dolphins were playing the Jaguars, and it was like 63-12 or something. I remember my dad being
Oh, that's like
pissed.
a historic ass whooping, actually.
Yeah,
No, it really is.
I
Like, Dolphin
remember.
fans,
Yeah,
like they know that L.
yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
game. I couldn't tell you like play. You know, I was very young, but I remember watching that game and my dad being pissed, bro. I remember
Oh
that's like
man, I can't
that was the
imagine.
first time I remember seeing my dad like sports pissed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Um, no, but Broncos. I don't know if it's they're as bad as they played or as bad as they lost, because after we scored that second touchdown and they responded, then we just went down the field again. I just think that they were being there's like we can't stop these.
It was
They were
just,
drowning
bro, yeah,
after
we
that.
were,
They were drowning,
yeah.
and it was just again, and then having A Chain. Oh, and I'm gonna call it now. His nickname's gonna be A Train at some point. So I'm gonna trademark that this moment, okay? And having him in the mix, no one having any film on him, or you know what he's kind of good at, not good at, other than college, which I don't know, you could take it as it is, you know what I mean? That whole new dynamic was caught them off guard. Along with the defense, what did you think about that? The Dolphins defense, because they still give up chunk plays, but they do hold down in the red zone when they
No,
need
they
to.
look like a solid defense for sure. They
And
look like a
forcing
championship type defense.
3 turnovers and a sack, you know, 2 forced
I
fumbles.
mean, if your team's scoring in 2 minutes every time, your defense is going to be on the field. Like, we give up 20, that's fine. But I think the defense is looking really good. You know, they got all the signs of a Super Bowl type of team. You know,
Yeah.
crazy explosive offense, but the defense, might really be the backbone of everything.
At one point of the game, I think in the first or second quarter, there was a stat line that came up at the bottom of the screen for Tua's career red zone stats. It was 60% completion, 42 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And
Wow.
that's before, there was still plenty of game left. And seeing those numbers was eye-opening to myself, He doesn't
Yeah,
really
that's
turn the ball
incredible.
over.
I mean, the kids doing it.
It's incredible, and it's awesome to see. It really is. It really, really is. Last thing I have on this game during the halftime, I don't know. I don't like to watch the pre-shows that they have on TV because I feel like I consume enough of it during the week. And that to me is more like for personalities rather than like real football. Some of the guys know real football, but some of it I think is personality based. I don't remember who exactly because I don't watch, like I said, I don't watch them all the time. But one of the guys compared Joe Montana. I could not believe it. From where we were 6 months ago, these guys are comparing him to goats out here.
To
It's just
one of the
incredible.
goats. I mean, and the comparison, despite like the hypocrisy, despite the 360 change, was a very fair comparison. Not in terms of like obviously greatness, because Montana, he's in the top 5, if not top 3. But in terms of style of ball thrown, very similar. Soft touch, accurate as hell. Not the biggest arm, but that anticipation and that accuracy is elite. So that's how he's really able to get it done.
Do you think because like, receivers, I mean most of them if they're not chasing the money, and do you think players would want to come after, especially after this year, would want to come to Miami to
Of
play
course,
ball
I
again?
mean, it's Miami first of all, but apart from that, it's just the style of play just looks so fun, looks so
Do you think we're
creative,
at
so
that point
innovative.
though? Do you think we're at that point of play style that's attracting people and
Oh, for
quarterbacks?
sure, 100%.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then, like I said, already half of the battle's already won with the location. I mean,
Yeah,
so
Miami's
we
great.
had players wanting to come here when the team was sorry as hell.
Yeah, true.
So it's like now, man, floodgates are going to
Yeah,
be open for free
I mean,
agents.
really, really to sum that all up, man, I just can't believe it. I can't believe we're at this point in this rebuild, this, you know, building the last couple of years, these young players developing and being something
Yeah.
defensively, attracting defensive players and growing them. It's great. It's really like football euphoria right now, for real. I mean, it's only week 3, but it's great. It's been a long time since this has been anything like this. Another game we wanted to talk about was Cowboys and Cardinals. I know you
Yeah,
had a
hold on. Back to you saying it's just week 3. I want to remind all Dolphins fans, let's learn from the greats that whooped our ass, like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, is week by week. It was a historic week, yes, sir. But guess who's next? The boy,
the
Mr. Allen.
Bills.
So yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy. I mean, historic, like wow, but it's just week 3. So I hope we
Yeah,
don't get too overhyped. I hope we don't get too overconfident. And man, let's get ready to kick some Buffalo ass because they also been kicking up as well,
hell yeah. They demolished the Commanders yesterday.
beating the
They
brakes
ate
off these boys.
they ate. Yeah, for real. Josh Allen, I saw that Cook had another I think he had 98 yards. So
Lil
if they
bro,
got a running game now and Allen's still
that's
running
all
the
what he
ball,
was missing all these years. He was their run game. He just needed a little help. That was it.
Cowboys cards. What are we thinking? I really
Man,
just
I
anxious to hear
told
this.
y'all. America, I told you. Like the first 2 weeks was cute. We've seen it before. We've seen the bully beat up on the nerd before. You've seen it in movies. You've seen it in real life. Cowboys is just like that. When they face some kind of controversy, when they face some kind of difficulty, they fold. It's always been like that since I've been born. I mean, I don't know how old some of you guys are, but since I've been born, that's always how it's been. Since Romo, since T.O., since everybody. they're dope. They're super talented. They have these games where it's like, wow, they just beat a team by this amount of points and they played damn near a perfect game. They're capable of playing damn near a perfect game as a team. But anytime their backs are against the wall, I mean, they just lay an egg. So that's why people, like Stephen A and myself, we just wait. We just wait because we know eventually it's inevitable, like Thanos said.
They got embarrassed, and I can't believe it. I kept waiting for them to come back,
And they had
come back.
opportunities. That's the
Yeah,
worst
plenty.
part. They had opportunity after opportunity. That defense gave them mad opportunities. I don't want to hear nothing about the defense. I've seen Prescott in that red zone not able to do a damn thing.
Yeah, they it was so weird. They shrunk at the times they needed to go up. I mean, I guess technically it's not weird because that's what you're saying, but yeah, they were a big disappointment. They fell quite a bit. It wasn't that they lost, as to how they lost.
Exactly.
And for someone that's fighting for a starting job in the league, Dobbs, like a home, it's only been 3 games. Um, man, they got punked for real. They got
Yeah, and
punked.
it's like people say like, okay, every team has their F game, every team has their stinker, but the great teams don't have it this early in the year. The great teams are able to start off the year strong, 6-1, 6-2, 4-2, and then eventually have, down the line a stinker. But in week 3 to already do this to this team, yeah, it's embarrassing, like you said. And I think Arizona's a lot better than we thought. I think they're a
Yeah,
lot
for
better
sure.
coached than we thought. I think they drafted a lot better than we thought. They're still like a bottom tier team, but I don't think they're as bad as projected before the season started.
Yeah, I agree. Connor looked like Connor from a couple years ago. Like all of a sudden, I don't know why, but he
They're
just
like
looked a lot
Pittsburgh
bigger.
Connor.
Yeah, he just looked bigger and faster. I don't know. It was a weird game. It was almost like flip personalities in a way. It was strange.
Shout
But
out my boy Hollywood Brown. Shout out Broward County.
game I want to talk about is the Ravens and Colts, and it was kind of a mucky game, kind of back and forth. I mean, it went into overtime at 19-19, and for the Ravens to fall on their face how they did, man, was it just when that fourth down happened and it was a throw over the middle and the defender smacked it down, everybody's has their hands up waiting for a flag, but it was kind of pitiful how they went down. And I didn't
Yeah,
think Gardner Minshew played that great, but the Colts I think are a lot better than we thought they were also, especially like defensively.
really good all
Um,
around team.
yeah, I didn't think Gardner Minshew played great. I would see throws that they would just sail off, but they did what they needed to do and they made the game kind of
Minshew's
like,
always been good for that. Come in middle of the season and win like his first or second game.
yeah, but I think the Ravens could have ran away with this game is you know what I mean? I don't think it could have just defensively, I don't know. Something happened with them. But
Hey, but they did have a chance to win. I mean, Mr. Clutch
yeah,
himself, Justin Tucker, missed a
yeah,
game-winning field goal. So if he makes that, it's a completely different conversation, and I think it
yeah,
would have been a great victory.
yeah,
But
we could be talking
hey,
about
he
this.
actually got out-kicked. The Colts kicker made 3 from 50.
Yeah, we could be talking about this game other way around, but it's just kind of like it was a Ravens game to lose pretty much.
Yeah. I see what you mean. They
You know,
lost it more than the Colts won it.
yeah, because it was. I mean, they were just trying to desperately to get to field goal range in overtime, and they finally did it. And I mean, it was at the end of overtime. It wasn't like it was the beginning.
Right.
Um, one thing I kind of realized watching Lamar is that he plays football. His game is so effortless, right? But he plays football as the big brother that would come and play with you and your friends that were all the same
Yes.
age. He plays like that. And when he needs to turn it up, not too much older, not, you know, maybe 4 or 5 years older. He's
It's like
step
you're in middle school and your brother's in high school.
Yeah, yeah, good 4 years difference. And you're like, oh damn, this guy can do anything. He's like, how
Yeah.
isn't he on the football
And
team?
it's so dope that he finally found like he's at this level where he can pick and choose when to turn up. Because maybe MVP season he turned up every play, but now he's like at that mature level where he's picking and choosing when to, you know, use his special powers and when not to.
Yeah, running the ball and some, like I said, some of the throws were they just weren't good. They weren't good throws, but the way he plays um like the older big brother. Um,
And we talking about he's playing like that with NFL superstars, and he's
yeah.
playing like everyone's big bro. Wicked
Before I get in,
talented.
before I get into my rapid fire, I want to hear a new segment that we hear. It's called Rookie Radar.
Yeah, man. Shout out Paul Wall, shout out Slim Thug, all my boys out there in Houston. Look like the Texans got one. I mean, this is the second week in a row that the rookie's balled. He looks calm, he looks big back there. He looks legit. And he beat what a lot of people were claiming as, the prince or like a top 10 quarterback already, Trevor Lawrence. Um, so man, if I was a Texans fan, I'm happy because the future looks bright and it's just a lot better than we thought it was going to be. So to me, that's like the automatic sign of a really good quarterback that gets drafted high and is selected by a bad team. It's not that they're going to be a bad team. They're not going to make the playoffs. We know that, but are they going to be better than expected? When they're competitive, when they're in these games, when they pull off upsets, then that's really like the sign of a good quarterback. But man, he's smooth and he's putting up these high yardage, no turnover games. So love to see it. D'Amico Ryan's over there as coach. So hopefully it's a culture change because man, the Texans for all my lifetime have been the epitome of ass. Like utter ass.
They've had good players back in
Had really good
throughout their
players.
time.
Shout out Arian Foster, Andre Johnson, Kusher, like DeAndre Watson, Autumn. But as a franchise, they just been bad since inception. Honestly,
Um, I don't think. What is your thoughts? What is your thoughts right now on the other two rookie quarterbacks? I
that's
mean,
also what I wanted to bring up.
they both were hurt
So
for this week, but
yeah,
where do you stand on them right now?
exactly. So if I were to rank him, I would say Stroud has played the best, then Richardson, and then Bryce. And then the other one, who's supposed to be part of the big four, he hasn't played yet, which is the Levy's dude over there in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that's the ranking that I would do. And I think Richardson and Stroud, they're built like literally, pun intended, they're built for, success immediately. With someone like Young, you might have to build a team around him, like how you had to do it too, and all these, maybe not as athletic, maybe not as physically gifted quarterbacks. I think those two, have the bodies and just the maturity to win now.
Does it concern you at all that Bryce is hurt right now?
For sure. I mean that was the number
What's your
one.
worry scale? What's your worry scale from 1 to 10?
Yeah, that was the number one, concern about him was his body, his stature. So the fact that he hurts kind of proves, you're already your third game and you got an ankle. It's not a good sign, and it hasn't looked good at all over there. That O line is abysmal.
Yeah, it's really bad. What is your concern with Richardson being hurt already?
I think that's more of a play style thing.
Okay.
Dude, we've seen the biggest, most athletic quarterbacks, Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, Ben Roethlisberger. They don't last. Like NFL is different, dude. You can't out big or out athletic anybody in the NFL. So he's gonna learn that. He's already learning that, while he's sitting down. But I think my main concern with him is just play style. Knowing when to run, knowing when to throw on the run, just learning the game more in a mental place. That would be my number one concern with him.
Yeah, I agree with that list, the 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Um, Stroud not having any turnovers is really, really impressive. I think it's the longest for a starting rookie for the first 3 games not having a turnover. And putting up big yards and maybe not scoring touchdowns,
Yeah.
but no turnovers, big yards, touchdowns come. They'll come. And I'm still holding out for Bryce to be the best for the whole season. But as of right now, I agree with that 1, 2, 3. And Richardson's really looked like he's proved me wrong. I I'm still very skeptical, but how he's played
Yeah.
is has been good. But the him being hurt already off of a hit, because I don't think it was a big hit, right? It was kind of like when he went into the end zone. Yeah, I agree. I want them all to be awesome, more better football for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. But I'm gonna go off of my rapid fire for the week. I was watching the Jets and Pats game. That was exactly what I thought it'd be, and I won money on that game
I'm
because
sorry you had to go through that.
yeah, I mean it was one of the games I had on. Under 36, Pats to win. I mean that was 2 minute warning. This is how bad the Jets and your boy Wilson are. 2 minute warning before halftime. The Jets had 35 yards, and 27 of it was rushing.
Yo, I don't
Now,
get why they're so committed. It's okay. Y'all fucked up. It's all right. Like, just move on. Get someone else. Like, come on, dog. Something else, please.
at one point, they had 9 rushing plays in a row, and I counted because I couldn't believe it. I'm leaning toward this thought, and I need you to tell me if I'm going crazy or not. But I think Derrick Henry's finally slipping, and I don't know if you put it on Tannehill because they know he can't throw it. I don't know if you put it on, um, receivers that are better than average. I would say Hopkins is still better than average. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if the Browns have owned him, but he had, I think, 11 for 20. He had no impact in the game.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had no impact in the game. Last week he had 60 yards. Week 1 he had 80. Is he still hurt? Is he playing hurt? I think he's about to turn 29 or 30.
Yeah.
One of the two. I just haven't seen nothing from him.
I mean, I think unfortunately, like all the all-time greats, he's finally fully introduced himself to Father Time. Um, and it's okay. Like, I'm totally fine with this happening. I expected this to happen, and I think he did the most that he could. I think he's still capable of being a good running back, Pro Bowl level, but I don't think he's like the dominant best running back in the league still.
How long was his
But man,
stretch?
what a great run he had, honestly.
How
A
long was
great
his
run
stretch?
and an all-time great when it's all said and done.
How long was his stretch? How long was his stretch of dominance? 4 years, 5 years?
What was it? 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, right.
Because look, when Tannehill went to the playoffs and he beat Brady, that was in 2019. That was the prime of Henry's career, but he was actually doing it 2 or 3 years before that. I want to say he's honestly been doing it since 2017. So yeah, that's at least 5 years of
Yeah,
dominance, being the best running back in the league. And he was breaking records and everything at one point.
yeah. I'm not all the way there yet, but I'm leaning towards that. And he I don't think his time is yet, but I think it's coming.
We're finally
Unfortunately,
starting to see it. Yeah.
yeah. I was super impressed with Jordan Love's comeback. As soon as Derek Carr went out, and I didn't think they looked great with Derek Carr in, they were up 17-0. Jay Love coming back, running the ball. And the first half, he looked like the moment was too big. He was not throwing accurate. But the second half, he turned into the Packers quarterback. Like I
Yes.
think after that game, after that comeback, the Packers fans were like, I'm sold. I'm sold to J Love
Yes.
and his future.
Yo, 3 in a row. What if they did that? What if it went Favre, Rodgers, Love? That would be,
That'd be incredible. That would
dude,
be insane.
that's like winning the lottery three times in your lifetime.
Next
But
thought.
yo, hold on. Don't disrespect the Saints. They were up 17-0 until Derek Carr got hurt. They were about to be 3-0 with really good victories each time, looking like one of the best slept on teams in the entire league. I knew this was coming. I knew this was going to happen. Hope the kid gets his shoulder right so he can come back and they could get right back to taking W's.
Yeah, but I think it was the Packers blowing it, giving Saints more opportunities,
It's just
giving
like
them.
I think we expect Derek Carr and Saints. We think high scoring offense, but that's not who they are. They're a low
They
scoring
are.
defensive.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
make 1 or 2 clutch plays down the stretch. They're more that type of Saints team.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, he did get hurt, and that's when the game turned. Everybody, you
Yeah.
felt it, you saw it. Next thing, I am selling all of my Justin Fields stock. I'm done with this. He is not that guy he was last year.
Jesus.
I even with a blowout, when you try to do extra, try to do more, I'm done with that. I kind of was holding out for him because how he finished the year last year, like on the ground and even in the air, still throwing wildly, but putting up, at least a couple hundred yards. But yesterday was this year's been terrible for him.
Is he
Absolutely.
done though, or are the Bears done?
I think the Bears are done. I think if you get the right person for him, and I think he's at an all-time low confidence. I mean, he said it in this. He was so dumb of him to do this, to say that it was coaching messing him up week 2. That was so dumb. So
Can't do
dumb.
that.
You don't do that.
But that
You
franchise,
can think it,
bro,
but
I
you
mean,
don't
this
do that.
just toxic. It's just been a mess.
Yeah, it's something's going on there. The DC resigned, I think, before the game last week. Weird stuff like that. But I think you need to get him out.
So
I
do
know
you
they
think if he goes to another team, he'll have a chance to excel?
if he finds the right coach. I don't know if that's on the next team or the next 3 teams, but if he
Yeah.
finds the right coach for him, I think you can fix him. I don't know. I'm done with him in Chicago. I really
Yeah,
am.
that I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Not this season for them. That kind of
No, I
sucks,
mean
man.
it's
I don't see how
yeah,
it gets any better.
and you could tell DJ Moore is just not getting the ball. It's kind of
Yeah.
like a reverse. Um, Steelers won last night, but they still need a quarterback and a running back. And Najee just running into walls every damn play.
Dude, Najee is Mr. 1 yard per carry himself.
Pickens, I don't. I mean
Yeah, I mean,
Pickett,
he's
I
like
don't see it.
another transitional quarterback, but he was supposed to be the one. Like Kyle Rudolph and them were supposed to be the transitional quarterbacks. I think he's another transitional quarterback. But the thing is, they're never going to be a bad team. So when are they ever going to get a chance to get one of these high draft, all world talented kids? It's going to be tough. They're going to have to try to find another gem like Ben.
They'll find. They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Herbert having 40 completions at 407 yards. That's a stat line, and I think that offense. I was wrong, even questioning it last week.
Yeah.
That he's awesome. 40 completions, 40.
No,
The
that
fact that
offense is super high powered.
they just won by 4 points is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The defense is really letting them down though. I heard today that JC Jackson he just didn't play. And he's the big cornerback they paid last year. Even Bosa not playing all the time. I don't know, something's going on. I think if they were to lose that game, I think the coach would be do or die for week 4, pretty much.
Yeah.
Do or die for real, for real. So
And shout out
that
Keenan Allen. Yo, really him and Mike Evans have been the best receivers of our generation. It wasn't Odell, it wasn't Jarvis, it wasn't none of these hyped up receivers, Michael Thomas. No, really, in the end, it's Keenan Allen and Mike Evans.
Yeah, good call. Good call. 215 and throwing a touchdown.
Vintage performance.
Yeah, that's like one of his best games of all time. Mike Williams went out though. Again,
No.
that's unfortunate. Next thing, you familiar with Carrie Underwood?
Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, I think she's a country singer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why?
Okay. You know how she does the Sunday night football
Oh,
song.
waiting all night for
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah. So she does that. And if I heard them correctly, they said that this was Carrie Underwood's first Sunday night game that she's been to. For her to have this song for as long as she's had, this is the first time, is super disrespectful.
She must really not like that shit. She must have really just did that shit for the
She
check.
must not give a shit.
She did that shit for the bag.
Do you remember the guy, the country singer, the guy with the cowboy hat? That Sunday night guy before Carrie Underwood? You could tell he had like Dallas Cowboy season tickets. For Carrie Underwood to the theme that she sings and not be it one time is crazy to me. That's almost like an artist putting out a Christmas album and not celebrating Christmas. That's exactly what that is.
Right.
That's disrespectful. What are your thoughts on Usher being Super Bowl halftime performance? Super Bowl.
Usher? Yes,
Usher.
sir. Usher. I mean, man, that man been on one. I mean, I don't know if you've been following like just like pop culture in general, but he has a residency in Vegas. So for those that don't know, a residency is like when you have a monthly subscription to a certain place. So like you can have a residency in Dubai where every month or every week or however often you have a show there, and it becomes like this routine thing. So he has a residency in Vegas. There's been mad artists that have had residencies. So he's had it for a while now. And he's been making headlines with that. He does like roller skating, dancing, all type of shit, interacting with the fans. So I think it was only right that the Super Bowl came after that, because when you really think about it, he hasn't had like smash songs lately, but that part of his, legacy that's been like the residency has been such a success that I think it garnered him, the ability to be on the Super Bowl. Obviously, he got the catalog for it, but I think he's just been on a really good momentum, and this is just like, the top of it.
Yeah, this just makes me really feel old because all the people doing the Super Bowl now are the people we grew up on.
Yeah.
So it just makes me feel old. That's it.
It's
cool.
Crazy.
I mean, you get to revisit those.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for them to get like Chief Keef and all them at the
No, it'll
show.
be like another 10 years when we're really pushing, like we're pushing 40, and then because he's only like 24 still. So he's got to get into you got to be in your 30s at least to do the
Chicago Super Bowl with Chief Keef and third performing gonna be crazy.
Our generation will be old enough, and it'll be a thing. That's all I have for NFL. You got anything else you want to add?
Nah, man. I think we got it all covered. Crazy week 3, and really starting to see who's good and who's not at this point.
All right, cool. We're about to take a break. On the other side for NBA, we're going to discuss what was LeBron James's peak of his prime, even, that he's almost at the end of his career. But yeah, we're about to take a break, and we'll see you when we get back.
Yeah, I think you got captions now.
Do I have captions now?
Yeah.
Wow. So are you a fast reader? Because am I talking fast?
Yes.
I got into it today with a truck driver at work. Semi-truck driver.
For real?
Yeah, I got out the truck, everything. Me and him were yelling at each other. He's like,
Wait, what?
it was a
Did
whole
this
thing,
started
bro.
on the road, like driving?
Nah, so just really quick, I was
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Hits and hoops. It's Dixon here, still here, still breathing, still up. We're here to discuss NBA for a little bit. One player that has defied father time, has been excellent since the beginning is LeBron James. People say LeBron James was in his prime from the moment he stepped onto the NBA court to now, to present. He never been out of his prime. He never been rising up to it. He was always him. He was always it. So we would like to discuss which era was the best. Okay, let's say that they're all in his prime. Which prime was prime, if that makes any sense. And I'll let Tyler go first on this one. What did you think was LeBron James' best era, his prime of primes?
prime of primes. That's a great way to put it. My prime LeBron is the year he left the Heat. The the pre I would say the first 2 years of the second Cleveland um run. That's what I think. LeBron came to Miami at his peak athleticism.
Yeah.
But when he left, he had not only how to win, the knowledge how to win, how to construct a team, how to um how to win championships, and he took that knowledge with him that he didn't have before he came to Miami. And he still was at top 3 physically gifted people in the league, and he was 29, 30 when he left. And that's a lot of the times when a lot of superstars hit their prime, and he had that knowledge of how to win championships, how
Yeah.
to how to present yourself, how to be the best, pretty much. Because
Yes.
he was. I mean, he won 2 MVPs in Miami. To me, he should have won a couple more, but you know, you can. That's a whole nother subject. But that's my prime LeBron.
That
Um,
2017 run was historic. The year after Kyrie left.
yeah,
That fact that he
that
was able to get that team to the finals, wow.
that team was terrible. I mean, they still made it to the finals. Like, other guys still had to make plays, but for a finals team, like, I mean, there was no competition for that finals. You knew they were gonna get rocked by the Warriors.
Oh, of course, of course.
And not only
Yeah,
that, that Warriors team is the best team of all time. The best team of all time.
I don't
Over
want to
the
hear nothing
Celtics,
about
80s,
what Michael and Scotty would have done.
over all of them. There's no team with that high level of defense that compares to their high level of offense. It was just there's no beating that team. They don't need the best record, because at that time, especially in the NBA, the regular season became less and less important. Like, think about it, what it is today compared to 2017. Like, guys are
They could
taking,
have gotten that record if they wanted it
yeah, if they really
easily.
really wanted to and had that same drive
If they
as
all
what they
played
did
like
a couple years,
82, it would have been over.
that same drive that they had a couple years prior, like, yeah, they could have got it. I mean, at one point, I think they were like 20-2 or something like that, or 22-2, something ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say that's the first 2 years of the second Cleveland run is my prime LeBron James.
got you. For me, it would be like when he came to Miami, but it was a particular year, which was the year of, I want to say, the second championship. I think it was the same year that we went on that crazy win streak, like a historic win streak. I think we won over like 30 games, second most of
No,
all
it's
time.
27, 28, I think.
Right. That year when he had the highest field goal percentage of his career, I think he was like close to 60.
Yeah, at one point he
So
was 60.
Yes, the way he played that year, it wasn't the most crazy highlights. It wasn't the highest points per game that he had. It wasn't the craziest stats, but his style of play, I've never seen him more confident. He literally developed a mid-range post game that later points in his career disappeared. But when he was in Miami, he would just get in that post and feed out of there or make a play out of there. But his calmness, his all-around impact, his greatness on the game during that era was just like a cerebral type of mastery of the game that, I haven't really seen since. And to me, that was the prime LeBron because of not so much ability, but play style, team, everything just gelled perfectly. Um, so yeah, that was it for me. What a great career. What a great man.
Hey man, man said, "What a great man." But before we finish up, do you? I know at one point you were big into the like YouTube basketball players, right? Are you still into that?
Yes. Yeah, I'm still into it. Lately I've been on these guys, shout out these guys called Next Chapter. They're kind of like the competitor to Ball is Life
Oh,
because
okay.
so what's happening now is so originally the first YouTubers out was Ball is Life. We know that. But that's more of a business and account. Then you started seeing these individual YouTubers pop up. Well, now we're seeing like another form of a Ball is Life in Next Chapter, which is like a company, like a big business comprised of a bunch of individual hoopers. So I've been seeing them and yeah, they be killing it. That's like that's what I've been on lately.
The reason why I bring that up is and if you're in that world, I don't watch basketball YouTubers, but I know a couple from like IG and stuff and YouTube obviously. But what's your thoughts on that guy Geo Wise?
Geo Wise,
Mhm.
Yu-Gi-Oh,
I mean, is that his name? I don't
Spam
know.
Dribble,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
2K20.
Yep.
That him?
Yep. Before
I'm
you answer,
conflicted.
just so
Like
you
at
know,
first, what you gonna
before
say?
you answer, just so you know, to me, every time I see his videos, I all I can think of, man, I would hate playing with this guy. That's all I can think of. I can't take none of his videos serious.
Yeah,
A lot of it's just not someone I would want to play with. I don't know why. That's all I think about, and that's why I just don't. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
yeah,
And you to put it, spam dribble, that's perfect because that's exactly what it is. Exactly
yeah.
what it is.
I think. I mean, it's man. I just I'm rooting for the kid, but I think he might have like pigeonholed himself because it was like a viral moment. It was like a moment, the spam dribble thing. But in the end, what's really going to keep you around, what's really going to keep you, consistent is talent. At the end of the day, performance. So like the spam dribble is cool and all, but that shit's already gone. That was an era. So I still see him working on his game and expanding, and he has gotten a lot better, but I still don't see him at the level of talent to really take his YouTube career to the next level. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, I support all these guys because
No, yeah,
they're
kudos to them. Yeah.
entrepreneurs, they're self-made. Like I support all these guys in one way or another. But the dude was like a basketball troll.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, kudos to them. I mean, if they can play for real, that's great. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I know you watch those videos not for like storyline, but for like good ball. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
you know what I mean? Um, before we leave, a couple minutes before we got on, I saw that Mark Stein put out what the trade is to Portland for Dame. Well, the offer from Miami.
Okay,
It's Hero and two firsts. That's it.
hero and two first.
That's it.
Oh, I'm doing that in a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah, I mean, especially
Oh, I
yeah,
mean, I would throw fucking 2 more first. I swear to God, I would.
yeah. So at this moment, there's been more and more news coming out on that. Like especially like with like the local guys on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And supposedly October 2nd is when Portland's holding their preseason spring training runs. So media is going to be there, and they want Dame to be dealt before that. So October 2nd, today's September 25th. So it's a week. So something should be firing up this week, which this time next week, according to that report, this time next week, Dame won't be on the Trailblazers. Hopefully he'll be in
Yo,
uniform.
Miami Heat fans, listen up. Don't worry. Don't stress. We're going to get Dame Lillard. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Tyler Hero unfollowed the official Miami Heat Instagram account. He knows something that we don't.
Damn.
He knows this, and he been done that like
I didn't know that.
right after that offseason. When that stuff started boiling, when it really started hitting off, he did that. So, yeah, man, I think it's a done given. I think all the signs are pointing toward Miami, and I think Portland, their relationship is not one full of spite. It's not one full of, adversary. It's like, no, they're going to do right by him because he always did right by them. He wants to go to Miami. They're going to try to help him go to Miami. They're not in trying to compete for a title. They want future compensation. So the draft picks will suffice. A young all-star and Tyler Hero will suffice. So don't worry, Miami. Don't stress it. We're going to get him. And that is truly the missing piece we need to finally get Jimmy Butler a ring and get him in the Hall of Fame. So let's do it.
Really quick, again, really quick.
Really quick.
Really quick. Where does, if Dame lands, Dame, Bam, and Jimmy rank as a big three in the league?
Where do they rank?
Yeah.
I mean, I would put them like right there with Phoenix's 3.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Totally
you'd have to, put in like Denver just because they're, the champs, like Aaron Gordon, Murray, and Jokic. But yeah, I would put them right there with the Phoenix crew. But we have way better coaching and culture and depth than Phoenix. So that's really the difference.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. Well, that's another episode of Hits and Hoops, and have a good night, my man. I'll be talking to you next week. Bills Dolphins this weekend. I can't wait. I'm gonna try to talk to you before then. Anything else you want to add before we leave?
Nah, that's it, bro. Beautiful episode. Great talking to you. Great seeing all the fans. Y'all get to see my beautiful face, and hopefully I'll be talking to y'all soon.
All right, man. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later.